We talked at the beginning about you've had multiple roles. So, what has been your perspective where companies are doing it right, where they are getting these inputs maybe from their gain site or from their customer success systems, and then they have all this marketing intelligence, so that really helps with the discovery, and then they have systems of record that might tell past usage, or again all these case studies and these real histories, so they really can get that full 360 view of their client, and they're not having to do duplicate research and digging. What have you seen companies do right, and where you suggest companies go in the future?
Certainly. I'd say one key. There's a couple things, right? So if they already have tools in place where they're able to automate a lot of the outreach efforts, right? Especially for I would call it the cold emails or email like sales cadences. So on this day, we're gonna send out an email, then we're gonna connect on LinkedIn, we're gonna send this message, we're gonna make this phone call, right? If they've already put in place ways to automate those functions for sales, that's awesome, right? If they're already doing these things, what I've seen is that they typically already have that in place. A lot of companies, right? They were a quick adopter of companies like SalesLoft,
Mhm.
which was also founded by a Georgia Tech alumni. Um, so got to give them a little shout out.
Yeah, give her a
And
shout
then
out, local, yeah, good local entrepreneur.
and something that I've also seen that's usually helped and been a great tool for sales teams from an enablement perspective is utilizing things like Sales Navigator, or I think Zoom Info even has the capabilities now. Back in my day, you could also set up Google search alerts, right? Save your Google searches. But you can set them up to where they're feeding you alerts. So anytime maybe your top target companies or the top contacts within those, your top targets, anytime they're mentioned in the news, you get an alert, right? Or a summary. You can say, I want it daily, I want it weekly. And that companies that have done a really great job of implementing sales enablement have really leveraged that piece and trained their sales team on here's some of the other ways that you can use this information to reach out to your contacts or your prospects for something other than, can I get a meeting? Right? Because every buyer, every executive gets bombarded all day, every day by phone calls and LinkedIn messages and emails from salespeople trying to, can I schedule a demo? Can I get a meeting? Can we have a discovery session? And I think if you're able to kind of pinpoint to say that company just won a big award, right? Reaching out and say congratulations. If you see that maybe the top buyer within the organization is about to speak, like it's being promoted that they're speaking on a panel at a big event. Well, reaching out for one, but then also going to excuse me. So reaching out to um, those executives and mentioning, hey, I saw that you're going to be speaking at XYZ conference or event. I'm going to be there, right? Or getting with your executive team to see if the topic maybe doesn't make sense to get one of your executives to be on that panel with them, right? So then you're almost you're matching peer to peer, and executives might have an easier time, especially if they've been really hard to get a meeting with or get to, open up and communicate with you. Being able to align them with someone who's at their level or one of their peers sometimes can make that conversation a lot smoother or easier. Um, and then using that information to follow up and say, hey, that was an awesome panel, right? I really loved what you said about ABC on this particular topic, right? So you really leveraging the capabilities of what I've always called in the news alerts, um, in order to have other ways and other reasons to reach out and engage with customers. You can also maybe start to pick up on, are there certain policies that these companies or new regulations, new laws that are going to impact some of these companies too? And using that information, I've seen it done really well where all of a sudden you have this whole outreach campaign around, did you know that this is coming for your business? And are you
Mm.
prepared? And a lot of times people are like, I had no idea. Really utilizing all the different tools, all the different alerts, listening for those trends and the information that you're getting from sales, leveraging the details like the feedback and the surveys and things that you're getting from the end customers as well for those success stories and use cases for those from those interviews. I've seen it implemented by companies and they've done a great job at doing it. And now for companies that are trying to get into that and trying to figure out, do we have the right tools in place? How do we even tackle, segmenting the content or tailoring it? How do we ensure that sales has the right tools and playbooks and sales slicks and right? Like, do they have all of the things that they even need to feel prepared and confident when they go into a meeting, right? Do they know how to talk about solutions versus products and customer pain points? And how can we really help solve those challenges instead of it being all about me?